About 100 years ago, in the beginning of the 20th century, there was a time of change in Sweden. It was a time when people joined together and took power over the future and the development. This was accomplished by the popular movement and with the help of education. What you often forget to mention is that the youths played the bigger part in the struggle. They stood in the front of the whole changing process. It is likely that this is what has to happen if we want to change the world that we have today. That the youth have to join together and describe what kind of future they want for themselves.
Money has a big share in all our social problems, in all our ecological problems, and also a lot of psychological problems. You could think that because everybody pays some interest in all the prices, everybody gets some interest if they save their money in the bank or in the life insurance, that interest would be a relatively just and fair payment. But if you look at who profits and who pays, and you would subdivide the German population or the Swedish or any of the Scandinavian populations, it's the same, in 10 equal parts, then you see that 80% pay more interest than they actually receive. And this is in this graphic here. And with 10% it's about evening out. And the last 10% get all this added on to their income from interest, which the lower 80% pay more. So we have a hidden redistribution mechanism which redistributes every day in Germany 1 billion euros from those who work to those who own capital.
I consider myself to be an anarchist, but not in the way that I throw stones through windows, but more from the Greek word anarchos, which means without a ruler. I want to have control over myself without being controlled by somebody else. And that was what I hoped would come out of Yalla.net, the importance of taking your own and believing in certain decisions. I think demonstrations are really good, but they do not meet their purpose if the people participating in the demonstration are not changing themselves first and foremost, and change themselves here. To throw a stone does not mean anything else unless a person who throws it is convinced that my life is lived by me, like the stone in the air. Then you can crush more than glass windows.
You're able to take a loan although you haven't got a monthly income or a job. Both I and my boyfriend are studying, so we do have an income, but no employment. You don't have to have a job. I think that's very good. It makes you feel like JAK trusts you to pay back the money, even though you don't work. Money in itself doesn't have to be evil. It is what we make of it. The term economy feels very big and abstract, something out of reach. To make the economy more just, or distribution of it more just, people will have to become more involved and aware of how the economy is governed. They have no control over the economy as a whole.
Everything we do is somehow politics. The notion of an interest-free economy is really interesting if you think about all the bank and financial institutes that are profiting from having large sums of money. They make money by loaning us money, and if they didn't profit from it, they would have to change business course. That whole industry would collapse.
Det är bara bra i sån här resa. Ja.
It's beautiful when darkness falls. All the love that heaven holds converges in a dusky light, as earth below prepares for night. All is tenderness, everything is touched by hands. All is near me, all is far away. All things given are returned one day. Everything is mine, and all shall be taken from me. Soon everything shall be taken from me. The trees and the clouds, the ground beneath my feet. I shall walk, lonely, incomplete, and without tracks.